as we kind of walk out of 2020 and reflect on what's happened and where we're headed, thinking about obviously that this has been a tough year. We've had anxieties in our system left and right, as my colleagues have outlined. I don't have to reiterate, but students, staff, seeing inequities that we've never seen before in our county come out of a crisis. Even the political turmoil, whether it be last summer, whether it be just yesterday, and where our nation is headed and where it's divided, and perhaps where the cracks seem to be showing themselves. And truly, I mean, reflecting even on what's been happening, on the differences, why we continue to insist on calling this domestic terrorism, as if they weren't Muslim enough or something, or how this interaction reflects a different reality than we saw in the summer, and really trying to challenge our thinking and seeing what's before us of a challenge that we need to tackle, and the obstacles our nation continues to need to heal from, or how this threat of what was feared yesterday is the very thing that we perpetuate as a nation on many people across the globe with our own tax dollars. So there's a lot to think about moving into 2021. But that's the good news, is we have a new year and we can flip the page. I'm committing myself to that. I spoke to some students throughout the holiday break. I had a number of meetings with high schoolers from across the county, and it's inspiring to hear, no doubt, the extent of their challenges and our job to do something about it, but their outlook and the efforts they're putting forward to try to make something better. We have the vaccine to be hopeful about. We've seen, Group 1A is almost done, and we're moving into 1B, and that's something to keep us motivated as we figure out how to open safely. And then, of course, we're not going to have another regular public meeting before this, but MLK Day, which is coming, and hopefully will be an opportunity for reflection and intentional thinking around where our nation is headed on a variety of topics. So I won't preach, but maybe I'll lead by example in saying that for the beginning of this new year, I've set some of my own goals, and that I hope to advance our system, to better of myself, so that I'm a better advocate as well. And so, first, to be courageous and bold and standing firmly for what's right, especially when it's most painful, and even when friends and allies turn their backs on me for it. Another goal I set for myself is to be more proactive and intentional, and to fight for others as though they were my own. And we are faced with many decisions as a board. Things come forward left and right, but to be intentional when we think about our students and what they're coming forward with, to decide we're going to do something about that. And I speak for myself in that. I'm excited to announce that now I have my new staff aide, Nora McGinn, who's going to be a huge support in ensuring we're able to be even more proactive and intentional. And I'm happy to report that today, with Ms. Cohen, and trying to exemplify and live up to this goal that I've set for myself, we had our CIP, our joint CIP meeting with the Board of Supervisors, where it's an exciting development. We have gotten our group to budge to think about alternate funding sources and how we can really rethink, rather than just another formality, on addressing and finally tackling some of these long overdue facilities and maintenance problems that we've had. So there's good news and good news coming ahead. And my final is to welcome criticism. So as we continue moving into the year, to dare to believe that we have more that brings us together than sets us apart. And when we have that mentality, I think with the challenges that face us, we'll be able to bring all of our insights and our varying perspectives to better outcomes moving forward. So I'll conclude with the final question that I'm going to, tape onto my wall, sear into my mind. How do we do right by kids? And how do we advance our system to ensure it's meeting those goals? I hope that encourages my colleagues, and I really think it's important for us to take that moment of introspection to move us forward into a new and hopefully blessed, positive year.